Hey there, my name is Megan and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing my summer book haul, but before we go ahead and get on into the haul, if you are not already subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well as the little bell icon so you can be notified every time I post new bookish content. I post new videos every Monday, Thursday, Saturday, and sometimes other days throughout the week. Also, don't forget to check down the description box below for links to all of my social medias, my Buddy Read Discord, and my Patreon, where you can be entered into winning book giveaways from me. This first book was gifted to me for my birthday by Dom over at Dominish Books, and I will link his channel up in the cards. Please check it out. He's an awesome creator, and that is The Wisdom of Crowds by Joe Abercrombie. This is book 3 in his Age of Madness trilogy, which is technically, I think, a spin-off of his First Law trilogy because we're following a couple of the descendants of those characters, such as Jezal's son and Glotga's daughter. And the series sounds interesting because it is following like the technological advancements of Abercrombie's world. So we're getting more into like the technology machines and industrial machines. And I just love worlds that combine magic with technology. I think it's always very creative, and the authors have such different takes on how magic can influence or be incorporated with technology. And when I was reading like the synopsis for this series, I was like, that sounds a lot like the Ravenmarks series by Ed McDonald, which I really liked the first book. So I definitely need to get to the series and finish the Levelers trilogy first before I can get to this one. But thank you, Dom. I now have all 3 books that are published in the series. And then he also got me a novella called The Fall by Ryan Cahill. Apparently he read this author and just really loved what he read by this author. This is a self-published author, and I'm always up for supporting self-published authors. But I don't really know anything about what the series is about. But in this book, we are following something called the Order in this world, and apparently the Order has ruled this world for a long time, but some things are coming to light about how corrupt it is and how things that it has been telling people might not be true, and it's literally starting to fall. And apparently there is magic and dragons in this world. So Dominic definitely recommended this author and this series, and I'm excited to dip my feet into it with this novella and eventually read more of Ryan Cahill's work. The next 2 books were gifted to me by my subscriber and patron Andre, who has just been so kind to me and so good and so sweet, and he's such a gem, and I just want to thank you so much. And he sent me the last 2 books in the Expanse series by James S.A. Corey. So we have book 7, which is Persepolis Rising, and then we have book 8, which is Tiamat's Wrath. And I'm really excited because I'm going to be joining in with Media Death Cult's read-along of this series, and they already started, but I've read the first 2 books in this series, and they are reading the 3rd book, Abaddon's Gate, in September, and I was like, that's a perfect excuse for me to jump on this bandwagon and get this series read and get all caught up since I have through book 8 now. So I'm going to be continuing this series in September, so thank you, Andre, for gifting me books 7 and 8. I cannot wait to read them. Next, we have Locklands by Robert Jackson Bennett. This is book 3 and the final book in the Founders trilogy, and I just want to say that his books have some of the most gorgeous covers. I love the covers. They're beautiful. Like, I can't get over it. Every single one is absolutely beautiful. But this is another series that combines a lot of technology with magic, which is really interesting. I thought that Robert Jackson Bennett did such an awesome job with the magic system of this world. I was thinking about listening to Shorefall on audiobook again because it is a fairly intricate plot and a fairly complex magic system, and I don't want to go into Locklands lacking any information or not remembering things because it lowers my enjoyment of the book so much more. So I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you think that listening to Shorefall again might be a good idea or not before jumping into book 3. Next, we have Annihilation by Jeff Vandermeer. I found this when I was in North Carolina on vacation, and I went into this little a used bookstore down in downtown Hendersonville, and I've been looking for this book used for the longest time because it is like $15 in the bookstore and it is super short, and I didn't want to pay full price for it just because it is so short. I was so glad when I finally found it, and it does have the movie cover on it, which I'm not a huge fan of the movie covers, but it is what it is. And I saw the movie. I like the movie. It definitely has some like sci-fi horror elements in it, but then I have read that the movie is much different than the book, so I'm interested to see what the differences are, especially actually the ending. The ending is what really gripped me in the movie, so I don't even know how to take that. But in this book, we are following a group of scientists that have to infiltrate Area X, which has been like infested by some sort of mutated being, some sort of alien they don't really know, and all the other teams that have gone before them have perished, or something bad has happened to them, or they've come back like diseased. So we're following these characters as they go in and try and figure out what's going on. So I would love to get to this really soon because it is short, and I think there are other books in the series. And lastly, we have The Martyr by Anthony Ryan. And yes, I could not help myself. I started reading this. This book was not on my TBR for July. I was going to read Empire of Ashes, which is also by Anthony Ryan, but I just was so engrossed by The Pariah that I had to jump right into The Martyr. And I'm currently on page 152. And it's definitely picking up right where we left off in The Pariah. But if you're not familiar with what this book is about, it follows a character named Alwyn Scribe, who basically grew up as an outlaw in the forest with this band of outlaws, and through one event or another, he eventually comes into the service of this noblewoman who has these visions of this apocalypse, and she goes around preaching and kind of trying to revive this religion that, first off, Alwyn doesn't even believe in, but he ends up rising in ranks to serve her. And there's a lot of like politics going on in this book. There's a little bit of magic, and what is really exciting is that these characters, I think in this book, are going to go to the Seraph lands, which is where the magic resides, and there was some like prophetic things that were going on with Alwyn and this witch, so I'm really interested to see that aspect of the story. Anthony Ryan does write fairly like military type stories, and right now we're in the midst of like the military part of the plot, so I'm just anxious to see where the prophecies go, where Evadine, the noblewoman's visions go. Are they real? Are they not? And then there is also some mistruths that are going on, things that Alwyn has seen and knows the truth about, but is not telling other characters, and it's really important stuff. So just a lot going into the story. I'm really enjoying it, and I highly recommend The Pariah if you have not read it. Okay, you guys, that is it for my summer book haul. Let me know in the comments what books you got this summer, or if you've read any of these and what you thought of it, and I will see y'all in another video soon. Goodbye!